new leader is what we are expecting. Let's not name it as of now.
It will be a smart strategy. I don't think you want to get into again another captaincy potential that will come up through.
And I think that it will be a very, very good pick if RCB can manage to get.
Most of the games are won at the auction table. If you
This is one of the best IPL mega auctions we ever have over the years. It's the Royal Challengers Bangalore. You can never be away from this franchisee, one of the most popular franchise in the IPL history. And I have Rohan with me, a die-hard RCB fan at Bangalore, always gives updates about weather, having a glance to his right. Rohan, welcome to the show. It's the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Retentions are out. We're always ready for the mega auctions, isn't it?
Thanks, Pritham. It's Royal Challenge Bengaluru now. So I think the rebranding's done. So a new way forward is what they're talking about, the ethos. So the women's team did win it after the name change. So something to be positive for every RCBN, I can say. But it'll be a fun auction and hoping new guys and new stars and new icons get into the Chinnaswamy.
So you're saying Royal Challengers Bangalore. I'll continue with that. Royal Challengers Bangalore. New faces, new stars is what expected in the IPL side of the RCB, who's going to be taken by a new leader is what we're expecting. Let's not name it as of now. It can be a question mark. Who can it be? But for now, let's focus into 83 crore is what the purchase or the budget, the purse, whatever you want to say for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru is there. 15 players a minimum because you have picked 3 players in the retentions. Your squad minimum has to be 18. 3 right to match card options are there for RCB with 2 overseas options in that. What are your take moving into the IPL auction table? Big budget you have in your side.
Yeah, the second biggest purse, I think, after Punjab. So I think
Yeah.
a good amount can be shelled out if you plan pretty well, because you don't want to get into a bidding war with someone and inflate the price so much and you end up buying someone and your half the purse is gone and you have to build a team with the remaining. That can lead to some very average picks later on, and you may miss out on certain specific targets that you will have. I think not just for RCB in general. I think that will be the strategy for across all the teams. They'll want to inflate the price of somebody else's purse too, so that later on it can profit for them. But it should be a smart strategy. I don't think you want to get into that kind of a danger territory with the price tag of any player. You know the kind of players that you want for the kind of culture that's imbibed to each and every team. So RCB with its play bold kind of a tag, I think they will want such kind of players who will buy that culture and make sure the legacy keeps going forward, which a guy like Chris Gale, Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers and co have set it up. So I think you want that kind of players who the people come to watch those big hits. And I think just to add on, not just the batters, I think you want some good bowler as well, which we may have let go in last time and all. We want such ones back as well with your RTMs.
Absolutely. The last time the mega auctions happened, one of the biggest news was your leg spinner was not retained. This time your Mia is not retained as well. So a lot of things needs to be answered by the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. But as you said about being the planning needs to be there into action because you have one of the biggest budget, second most, and if you look into the double figures, the highest budget amongst the double figures as well. But what do you look into there? 15 players you have to buy. Don't make the brain fade of a moment which you did last time around with Stark or Cummings, one of them. You did that. Don't make that this time around. Is what your thoughts is.
Yes, you don't want such kind of a mistakes to be repeated. You learn from that thing is what basically the auction strategy should be, because the guys who will be there are quite experienced and they know how to go about it. They need to be smarter, as I said. Pick bit sometimes players who are going under the radar, who may be on other franchises hit list, you can say, but you can sneak through somebody else at a slightly reasonable price. I think that can be a good deal is what I'll say. You need to target such things. I think that's where the mock auctions and all these drills that the teams come up with, I think that should give you a fair idea of whom you need and how the auction dynamics will go. And one thing that we all know, at what order a specific player comes, I think that's where the real game begins. If in case
Absolutely.
it's at the top end of your slot, I think the budgets will take a hit for sure. But somewhere in between, I think you can get a slightly good deal. So I think it's on the day how it goes, and sometimes rush of blood, as you said, to a Stark and Cummins bid that happened. That can happen. We have seen that previously with someone like Punjab do it, Sunrisers do it. RCB also has been part of that. So I
Delhi
think, yeah,
Capitals do
you
it.
never know who's going to do that.
Even Delhi Capitals do it. Capitals knew it.
Yes.
We all know the fun when it comes to Delhi Capitals and that man lifting the bid. But yes, there are so many things to look into. But look into the players that can be targeted by the Royal Challengers Bangalore in the IPL auction 2025. We said about the order is very important because the teams having a lot of purse in them. Every single player at the first couple of sets will be big players. You will want to buy, and everyone will have their eye on them. The wicket keeping department generally comes in the third set, is what we generally see that. And what are your saying? Because no Dinesh Karthik, I probably think he's the mentor now for the Royal
Yeah.
Challengers Bangalore. So he's into that department, the management department. No more Dinesh Karthik. What a player he was. Remember that innings was Sunrise Hyderabad. But yes, now you need a new wicket keeper. You do not have an Anuj Rawat as well. But there are so many big names in the auction table, Rohan. Josh Butler, Quinton de Kock, Phil Salt, Ishan Kishan. So many options are there. What are your thoughts? Which way are you tilting towards?
There's one more name we missed out. The man who is having the flavor of the season,
So are you,
Rishabh Pant.
oh, okay.
So I think he'll be the most sought after property. I think this IPL. He has a good record here at the Chinnaswamy for sure. You get him. I mean, the main target should be the young lot. I mean, something that Rajasthan do. They know it's like an investment for a longer term. If these guys come through, they can stay with you for a longer time and give you the returns. Is what I think teams will look at. And Pant being in the mid 20s, in case I mean, not just for RCB or any team he does go through, he's a long time investment for sure. So I think such kind and possible captaincy option for any team as well. So I think that's what people will look at. Rishabh will be one of the hot picks, and everyone's gonna go mad on bidding war for him for sure. Pant is also a guy I think, along with the guys you just mentioned. All these wicket keeping slots will be a huge golden kind of set that everyone's eyes will be on. So let's see how RCB go with it. I think they'll always have a plan A, B, C. In case A doesn't come up, definitely the other options will be the ones that teams will go for.
True that, but you said there is another player you missed out, the man with flair, no doubt, RP17. There's also another player who might just be handed over the gloves. Since the Duleep Trophy, I have been noting this, Rohan. Whenever the Chinnaswamy is hosting a game, the name is being chanted and chanted. In the first test versus New Zealand, that name was chanted and chanted. He has been released by the Lucknow Super Giants, returned back home for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. KL Rahul, is he in the radar for the management plannings?
That's what I said, Pritham. I think the order, the specific, and the requirement will be defined. I think KL Rahul will be your number one pick for sure, man. As again another captaincy potential that will come up through, gives you a top order batsman and a wicket keeping option as well. And not to mention being the homeboy, I think the extra fan following that he'll bring along. And don't want to get into too personal things, but certain things need to be answered to the Lucknow owner as well in kind through on-field performances and to the trawlers as well. I think the guy has class. Just sometimes the requirement of the team makes him play in a different way, which I think if you give him a bit more
True that.
freedom
So
and
it was more or
lower
less
down the
the
orders from.
innings, the most of the innings. I'm sorry to interrupt, but most of the
Yeah,
innings which he played slowly, played in almost the entire overs, he did not get support from the other end. That could be, and that is the possibility reason that he played throughout the innings just to get an additional 15 to 20 runs more rather than playing a risky shot. Was that statement of not playing for the team, rather playing for milestones, justified? That did the man KL Rahul deserve that?
I mean, just think of it, man. That guy has opened, been in the middle order, done the wicket keeping, been a captain, has done everything that's required of him without any settled spot for him. Still, he has done that. What more do you think? He's a team man or what? So, all these things, it shows the kind of naivety by the owner. I mean, forget KL, man. I think a lot of these players put a lot of their 100% character on the field, even though sometimes it's against their own nature and they try and do it for the team. So, talking about a player like that, I don't think it's a good kind of statement to give out even to other players who may get into their LSD team. Players will be a bit reluctant to show whether I go all out and play my natural game or sometimes use a bit of common sense and make sure the team gets to a par score or at least something to defend with. So I think certain times cricketing sense also needs to be put into picture than just saying go gun ho like other teams go at 200, 250 kind of projection. I think
True that.
sometimes your team and the conditions may demand a 175. So I think that brains and the experience is what calls about. I think KL has all that. I'm pretty sure being born and brought up here, he knows the Chinnaswamy conditions as well, and he knows how to adjust his gear accordingly, I feel.
Absolutely, certainly, and I think that it will be a very, very good pick if RCB can manage to take KL Rahul into the side. And it will be happy ends in both ends, to be honest. KL will love coming back to Bengaluru and play alongside Virat Kohli and maybe big names as well, as you mentioned. Similarly, you said about many players, many targets. Is the current, rather, who was the captain last season, Faf du Plessis, any chances of targeting him into the auction table?
Definitely, man, he has done pretty well for us at top of the order, and along with his batting and leadership experience that he gets to the group, his fielding is sensational, man. At the boundary line, you know nothing's gonna get past him. So if you can get him for a slightly cheaper rate, as I said, because of the age factor or whatnot, and the dad's army may also be vying for him across the border as well. So that'll be a good thing to watch out for. But since he was with us last a few cycle as well, I think Faf can be a good pick because again he is well versed with the Chinnaswamy conditions and can give you a good opening partner with KL or Virat, whoever is having that flexibility to go up the order.
Fair enough. And now you have to look into the retentions as well, the right to match cards. Three retentions, three Indians were picked there. Right to match cards has three of them, two overseas. So, what are your right to match options you have in your targets? I am going with Will Jacks, Mohammad Siraj, and somebody who has been very underrated and was really top class last season was Swapnil Singh. An option that can be open for me if you can get him in a cheaper rate. Can that be a steal buy for the Royal Challengers Bangalore? Are you agreeing with me or anything else you're going for?
Definitely, someone like Will Jacks will be a contention for the RTM because the 100 he scored against GT, and he was getting into that culture of the RCB setup, and
Yeah,
he felt comfortable, I think. And also, not to forget, he can bowl out of off spin.
yeah.
The guy who was of a similar skill set didn't turn up at the start of the IPL. We don't want to name him. Mad Max Maxwell. Never know what's going to come with him. So I think someone like Jacks, again, because he's a slightly younger guy, can be a long term investment as well, I feel. Cam Green, who was there earlier, could have been another option, but because unfortunate injury, I think
Injury.
that plan had to be dropped. Mia, I think ever since he's been at RCB, has always conjured up that some kind of a magic. Always keeps going for runs and suddenly brings up with the two
Gives you
magical
wickets, yeah.
wickets out of nowhere and opens the game up. So end of the day, I know in T20s bowlers are there to get smashed. It feels like, but if you can pick up wickets, nothing like that. Even if you go 10 and over, wicket taking ability at times does require a different kind of a skill set. Swapnil Singh, as you mentioned, has pretty been uh, gone completely under the radar. Balls a little bit here and there, opening the bowling up front couple of overs. Handy with the bat, low down the order as well. But someone I feel again because of the local connection, someone like Vaishak Vijay Kumar can also be a possible RTM for RCB, selected for the Indian team as well for the T20s versus South Africa. So I think that kind of experience again, knowing the local knowledge, conditions, has a very good slow ball.
That's a good
Death
buy.
overs has
Yeah.
always been an Achilles heel for RCB.
Knuckleball.
Yeah, that's what I think. He has grown and can smack a bit lower down the order as well. So I think these kind of sets proves that he can be a good buy for the RCB in this auction at RTM.
Okay, fair enough. You're given your RTM picks. You've gone with Vijay Kumar Vishak. You've gone with Mohammad Siraj, a couple of Indian pacers. Do you see any more seamers in the rack? Probably Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, the experience lies because we have lacked experience. Royal Challengers Bangalore has lacked experience. You can go with him. Maybe there are many Indian as well. Mukesh Kumar, Arshdeep Singh. I'm expecting Arshdeep to be
Yes.
one of the picks for Punjab Kings back as the RTM as well. Mukesh Kumar is there. No chance for Delhi Capitals until unless they buy him back as well. Overseas, so many are there. KG Rabada, Nathan Ellis, somebody underrated according to me. Nandre Berger is there. Trent Bolt is there. Henrik Nokia. This is one of the best IPL mega auctions we're going to have over the years.
And all these people have a wonderful IPL experience as well, as you said, Pritham. So I think anyone comes into this kind of a team because RCB always has that batting firepower and has projected itself for that thing. But if you have a quality bowling attack, you can definitely go on with that one extra step. I know they have been missing trophies and all that thing, but it's because of the lack of bowling attack that they have had, and it's hurt them badly. So I think if you have a quality, experienced fast bowler like a Stark or a Bolt who have been there and delivered at crunch games, you can say, I think that will solve half the
Yeah,
problem, and the batsmen can go a bit more careful in their batting so that they can not require that par plus 20 to defend every time at
true that.
Chinnaswamy because of the dimensions. So I think a good bowling attack, a good seamer, and a good spinner, someone like Yuzi Chahal that who was also there. I think the experience what is was lacking. I feel in the previous time there's no support for either of the bowlers. I think if you have a good seamer and a spinner, I think that will kind of balance out your attack, and then you can play around with your combinations.
Okay, so you're seeing a balance in the bowling department, is what you're seeing. Last time you mentioned, last mega auction, you made a blunder, released your spinner. Is that man, Yuzvendra Chahal, who has been released by the Rajasthan Royals as well, cannot be bought back as the RTM. They have to buy him back. Can he be a target for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru? Return back of Yuzvendra Chahal.
Definitely, man. I mean, he's improved his batting as well. So I think that's kind of a bonus nowadays for him, and all his gigs that he does on social media. I think that kind of also sits well with RCB with his comic timings and everything. Even someone like a Josh Butler gives you that keeping option. So that kind of a union again of the RR band of
Yeah,
bros, those two. I think that can be a good thing for RCB as well. So I think that's what we need to have, that culture of that brotherhood that we always had with the big stars. If the bowling attack also starts showing that kind of a same resilience, I'm pretty sure this team can go a long way, which the fans have been waiting for. I think it's high time the fans get what they want rather than just the star power only. I think a balanced attack, a balanced squad with some local flavor as well. I think that will put all the tick boxes, I
yeah.
feel.
You mentioned about local flavor. We spoke about KL Rahul as well. A little bit of local overseas flair is somewhere, what we would say, destroyed us in the Test series. Rachin Ravindra can be a target to watch out for Royal Challengers Bengaluru.
The beauty of IPL, right? When he was playing against us, you didn't want him to get the runs, but then you are somewhere hoping, okay, he has done well in these conditions. Let's have him back at RCB and make him his our own. Been from not just Bangalore, I think the Basangudi area. That's I think pretty much a central area within Bangalore. His what do you call? I think grandparents are staying there, and also I think he does visit there quite often in the year. So that's a good connect for him. If he stays at
Mhm.
RCB, he can keep visiting there during
It will
the
be very
IPL
close.
time. Yeah, very close. So I think end of the day, if you feel have a home away from home, I think that kind of makes you performance also on field pretty well. So I'm pretty sure Rachin Ravindra again, not just being a good batter, I think gives you that bowling overs here and there, which again can suit you, because spinners in IPL do matter. Even if you give a couple of overs here and there, that will kind of make you giving more options for the captain as well to have a backup bowling options, the sixth bowler and a seventh bowler. Reduces load on the front line bowlers in case they're having a bad day. Someone like a Krunal Pandya as well, who has a similar skill set, I'm pretty sure will be on the franchises list as well.
Okay, Krunal Pandya, very important mention because he has been released by the Lucknow Super Giants. So if you miss out on the overseas left arm spinner, left arm of Rachin Ravindra, you have an Indian left arm spinner of Krunal Pandya, equally balanced. Similarly, another all rounder, Shardul Thakur, can be another very good option for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru if he has there in a good budget. But fair enough. Moving into the retentions, Rohan, three players have been mentioned. King Kohli, no introduction for that. Highest paid Indian player in the IPL auction 2025. Similarly, Rajat Patidar, you mentioned the future of RCB probably, and Yas Dayal. Two good picks, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, I was really happy about someone like Rajat Patidar, because he's a good player of spin bowling. He can really take the attack to them, and on small grounds like this, he can suddenly up the ante in the mid overs, which has always been kind of a problem area for us, because the openers used to give a decent starts, but the mid order used to flounder. I think Patidar coming in with his domestic experience has helped a lot. I think he has played in the Indian team in and out a bit. I think that also experience. I think if he has a decent enough IPL, he's a good enough player to come into the white ball format as well for India, I feel. So I think Patidar's a good retention. Along with Yash Dayal, we have seen him. He has got hit a lot, but still to come back and deliver under pressure, that shows the man has a lot of character against someone like MSD to
True
do
that.
that. And now, of course, getting into Indian team as well. I think that will only give him more confidence to do well in the coming season for RCB.
Absolutely. He mentioned as well after he was retained by the Royal Challengers Bengaluru that RCB trusted him more during his worst times. Fair enough. Your last and final question, Rohan. Rate
Yeah.
this retentions out of 10 for RCB, and how confident are you that RCB will enter into the IPL auction table and have a good squad with second most highest budget?
See, the kind of retentions we did, that's I'll say a good 8 or 9 out of 10, because it has given you the more
9 out of 10.
options to buy back certain players at a slightly lesser cost, and also give you the option in case you don't happen to get them, some other options as well at a pretty much similar range of price tag as well. So that gives you the flexibility. Again, it's up to the people who are the decision makers to be wise on the auction table, not to get too carried away with the flow of it, but always have a plan B, C, and D, so that kind of the right players get into the mix and don't go for a slightly subpar kind of players like it happened last time with the bowling
True.
attack. You want to get a balanced squad overall, so that there is no leeway towards one of the departments, but a good settled squad. I think we do know one thing: most of the games are won at the auction table. If you get that right, I think that's half the job done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there you go. There is a special message. Be very careful. Have the planning. Have plan A, B, C, because most of the teams have brilliant and high budget as well. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this one. Royal Challengers Bengaluru are ready for the IPL auction 2025. Sit back and enjoy. We'll come back for more
Will
teams
it
as
be
well. Thank you
Isala?
so much. Don't forget to is Salan Cup naam de? Okay, will that be? We will see that. Let us know in the comment section as well, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.